Do you have a reservation today?
Yes, under Geoff.
Cece, we have a very special guest today, That Hoying with us.
I know. I'm so happy. Welcome, Geoff.
Thank you.
Richard.
Our honorable first guest ever on our platform.
Yeah, we were having technical,
Richard.
but I'm glad we're finally starting.
Do you want to tell him what I accidentally called him?
Yeah, she's like, we're excited to have Richard with us. I was like, who's Richard?
Richard was my masseuse. Richard was my masseuse, and I've been thinking about my a massage this entire week. So I was like, I can't wait for Richard to come on to join.
Close enough.
Joyce says she's frozen, but
Yeah, she is frozen.
okay, well, okay. Well, then maybe you and I will keep going till she fixes it. I'm like so interested in your
My take?
your take on things. Tell me a little bit about yourself, like an interview.
I grew up in Toronto, actually, and then I came here in like grade 8. And then I went to the same high school, actually, as Joyce. We're only 10 days apart, but I feel like
Okay.
we've been through similar experiences.
He's older.
So-
He's 10 days old.
Why did you move from
10 days
Toronto?
10 days older, yeah. Sorry, 10 days old. We moved here because of my dad's job and also because my sister got into some special program at UBC.
Oh, nice.
So it was a whole family wanted to move here at the same time. And it was pretty similar to Toronto, actually, in terms of like the people, the, diverse cultures and everything. Yeah, I was always the worst performing in academics, all of PG. Like we're all like, we went to Point Grey, and out of all the groups that we were part of, like the PG group, I did the worst in school. Everybody was going to sciences and stuff. Yeah, everyone seemed like they knew exactly what they wanted to do. And I always felt like I was the odd one out. I was like, I need a job where I'm talking to people the entire time, or at least like I'm not at an office the entire time, so I get to like walk around.
Mhm. And so, what are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm doing commercial leasing, and I work at Metropolis at Metrotown. So if anybody has a good business idea, happy to take it.
Wait, so you actually work at the mall? Like, is that what it is? Like,
I work at the center, but we have our own office, the administration office.
oh,
And I work from home like maybe a couple days a week. The rest of the time I'm in the office. I'm talking to the tenants. Yeah, so it's fun in a 3-year-long relationship.
okay.
One of my longest relationships. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's the most sure I've been. Every time I listen to
wow.
Joyce and you talk, it's like, I was like, yeah, sounds about right. A lot of the late.
Oh, for like a lot of relationship.
Yeah, like similar. Like
Comment?
I've seen it, or I've been through it, or I've been a part of it. So
Guys,
feels
Guys, guys,
What, Joyce?
I see Joyce is trying to say something, but nothing's coming out.
can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah, we can actually.
You know, from my understanding is that you guys both graduated communications at SFU.
Did we?
No.
Oh,
Oh, I'm so confused.
I did psychology.
I thought you did communications.
I mean, I communicated my way to
Wow, well done, boys.
communication. So
Seriously, all these years, I always thought you did communications.
That's funny.
You know what? Geoff, I'm going to have to introduce Geoff as this person, as this friend of mine. So I haven't seen Geoff for almost 2 years because he's been in a long-term relationship. And now, from my understanding, longest he's ever been. So ever since then, he's just disappeared out of all of our lives. But that's completely fine because whenever I do need him emotionally, he is there. He is available. I'll be like, Geoff. And then he already knows it's not you. It's not you. Like he's the friend I know that I can go to and he will instantly make me feel happier. So as a friend, I just want to say I appreciate you.
Aww.
very well.
And he will always tell me as it is. So I feel like he is also like why the one person when Cece and I talked about, oh my God, we should have like a male guest. And I was like, oh my God, you know what? Geoff is a wonderful person because he will tell it as it is. No fluffing, which is all what we're about.
That's great.
So anyways, Geoff, you know how you're in the longest relationship ever in your life right now? What's different?
There's a lot of things that are just different in general. I think it's just a lot of times it's not even just about the person or it's just about me. It's also about timing, right?
Timing is everything.
Right. Because at the end of the day, sure, I could be in a good place and then like the other person might not be in a good place. And then now for the first time, I think I did it properly. So I'm dating
With intention.
I guess you could say I mean, it was always with intention. It's in my subjective view. It was always with intention. But now it worked out because when I'm finally older, I was like, okay, well, we have to do this right? Like we talked for like a year, she's been a friend for a long time. So it wasn't anybody online. It was a friend I knew for a long time. So we had that foundation. And then from then it was just trying to turn it into something else that made a lot more sense. So communication wise, it was super strong coming out of the gate. And all that you had to do was just develop, those emotions and romance and all that stuff later. But I think a lot of it was just because of timing and just prep work, right? So you're not just like jumping into it right away, making sure that both people are in the right mindset.
Does it feel different from any, like, emotionally?
Well, I mean, I always try to look at things. It's not just emotional, but you want to look at it rationally as well. So the emotional part, I feel that we get along on many levels. I feel like if I'm able to communicate with a person through all the arguments and I'm confident that it'll stay like that, the next while, I'm really confident person. And that's the emotional part. And the rational part is, you got to be attracted to them, right? So I got to think as well, do I see myself being attracted to them in the next few years as well, right? Like based on their own, lifestyle, vanity, whatever you want to put it. I mean, it always matters, right? Both.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have this question, and I think maybe some people are curious about this, is how did you go from realizing you guys were just friends and then stepping out of that friend zone, being like, oh, wait, I actually like you as a person more than just friend, like in a more romantic way? Because I feel like I've heard these stories about, oh, yeah, we've been friends for a long time, but just like suddenly one day I just like saw her differently. What changed?
Well, mine was actually a little weird because she was actually working for me. So she was actually.
Oh.
So yeah, so I was actually not able, like I'm really professional, at least I try to be at work. So, I never looked at her that way, like genuinely from a professional standpoint, I didn't want to. And then it was only after I moved to a different center, then we started talking more. So it's safe to say I was self-inhibiting myself, trying to talk to her more, trying to do all that because I just want to keep it clear cut.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that was kind of how it translated to that. But I think a lot of people, especially for guys, I hate to say it, but it's just the guys are very visual. So, if you like what you see, it's if we want it to turn to something, it most likely can, and I just want to be honest, right? Like most men date like 75% of the women out there. Like,
really?
Yeah, they will. They'll date them, but it doesn't mean they want to be with them for the rest of their life. But
they just want to sleep with them?
Well, 100%. I mean, it's just constantly in their brain, right? It's just nonstop. I wouldn't even trust a guy who wasn't honest about that, to be honest.
Interesting.
So
I know he reminds me of that all the time. He reminds me that every single time I go on a bad date. He tells me every single time.
And you have to operate from that point of view, right? But you shouldn't operate from that point of view like, oh, he's disgusting, or like, oh, that's all he thinks about. It's like, well,
it's just how men are wired.
Yeah, you want to be rational about it. Whatever we do, it does stem like solely from that. And then obviously once you start getting to know them, once you start dating them, then it goes from, lust and desire to more like, oh, like, are they really the person I want to spend my life with?
Right. Oh, see, this is why we have a guy on our podcast. I'm loving his perspective because it's so nice and refreshing to hear that men is just so visual, right? Yeah. And women are just so much more about like the chemistry, the emotional part.
Yes.
And not so much and of course there's the physical aspect part, but it is just so refreshing.
Well, I mean, women sometimes too, right?
Yeah. But I think we have different layers. Like women we have a lot of layers to it.
Yeah.
Whereas men is just like, we want this.
Like, wow, they got thing.
Yes.
Have you been in a big argument in this current relationship?
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. We've been in a big argument. And I think it just depends on like how we approach it, and it took some time, but I think the best part is that every time we do have an argument, it's like we're solving it faster and faster now.
Yeah.
Like in terms of, because we're like, if we genuinely want to approach an argument that we want to improve every time, it just makes it a lot easier.
Do you agree when people say you shouldn't have an argument overnight? Do men agree
As
with
in
that?
you argue and then you go to bed angry?
Yeah.
Um,
You don't
You have to
solve.
understand, Joy sometimes thinks in the Chinese way and it comes
Yeah.
out in in English.
that's why
What
that's why I had to confirm and paraphrase it. It's like
Argue overnight.
argue overnight. Like, are we just arguing the whole night, and not sleeping? Because I'll just fall asleep.
She meant to go to bed angry.
Yeah, I think that's what she was asking.
Like, 唔好過夜啊。
I don't agree. I think it's just a view. I don't agree with it because it's like, I mean, you can't expect to solve it overnight all the time. Like, if you need some time alone, then it's all good. But one thing I will say is that whenever you argue, no matter how bad it gets, if you still stay in the same room, like you're still like in their presence, to me, it means a lot, right? Like, we don't have to talk. You can be pissed at me, but
Oh, like they're not sleeping on the couch or something.
right. It's like an unspoken rule that we're just like, we're still there. We recognize that it's an argument and that's all it is. Right. But then the moment it goes beyond that, it's like, well, okay, that needs to be another conversation. Both people get hurt, it's,
I agree with you on that. I don't think that it's always possible to not like to I think it's okay to go to bed angry. Because sometimes you're just tired and you're not thinking straight at some point, and then now you're just making gibberish up to try to solve a situation. Yeah, I think it's probably sometimes better to just go to bed and then wake up with a refreshed perspective.
yeah, for sure. Time kind of like always gives new perspectives.
Yeah.
Calms down the emotions. It like brings it back down so that you don't say something you don't
mean. Totally.
Well, I'm so glad you're like 大個仔, gonna argue and get over it and continue. Wow. Like,
yeah, before
what?
like, oh.
I didn't say that, but a couple of episodes ago, Stacey and I were talking about women chasing men. What is your take on that, man?
I don't think there's anything wrong. I guess the bigger question is, if you're asking the question, do you feel like there's something wrong with like the woman making the first move?
No, but there are. We don't. Both of us don't, but there are a lot of women who refuse to make the move.
Oh yeah, that's easy. It's easy to understand why they refuse to make the move, because rejection is never
just fear of rejection.
Right, but then as men, it's like you're literally growing up with rejection, right? It's like, because you have to. I remember the first time I got rejected. It feels horrible, but again and again and again, and then
you're like, I'm invincible.
Yeah, you just feel, you just start understanding that it's all good, right? But men growing up nowadays as well, it's like, they're spending a lot of time at home, they're spending a lot of time on the internet, and they don't end up.
Stop, Mama.
So, and then if you don't end up approaching women, it's like, then you end up being the woman because you don't get rejected enough, right? No, it's 100% true. But honestly, there's no issue with the woman making the first move. If anything, like, I personally find it attractive because it shows confidence, shows that what she wants. But I think the only pitfall is that men are pretty like fickle.
What's
right?
fickle?
Like I mentioned it before, right? Like, because men will date like 3/4 of a woman. Like, if you put a man in a room and you asked him genuinely, if it's like the end of the world, would he date most of the women? He would date most of the women.
Interesting.
Right? And but then from the woman's perspective, it's hard because if you chase him, then you don't know whether or not he's actually serious about you. Because if you're chasing him, he's just going to take it as an opportunity to like hook up.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like that for sure. English, whether or not he actually liked you for you, or if he's just like, oh, hey, there's be on the plate. I'm just going to eat it.
Is there a physical attribute that you notice first that's different as opposed to 10 years ago?
No, I think it's the same.
Oh,
I'm gonna
well,
change.
what is it?
Well,
No, it's fine. Just say it.
I can't date a woman if she has like super big calves.
So complete opposite
not
of
kidding.
me.
I know it probably caught you off guard. It's just for me. It's like I don't. She's like
Calves is a thing. Calves is a
No,
thing.
maybe for a man. Maybe
It's
for a
thing.
man.
well for me. It's I know I'm weird.
Calves is a thing for me too, Joyce.
No.
Yeah,
She
opposite.
has to have like a waist.
Oh my God, this is so funny because it's always been a
no
thing.
waist. Well, because it's like if your waist is the same width as your hips, like you look like a boy. You know.
So you're telling me your girlfriend is basically like a model.
My
Oh, you got to tread carefully.
She's got a slim waist. I can imagine his girlfriend has a slim waist, nice hips, and then very thin calves. That's what I imagine.
Well, no, it doesn't have. It's not like she has to have thin calves. She just can't have big calves. They're like normal. It's not really a big deal. It's just as soon as they're big calves, for some reason, it's like a turnoff.
We're back to calves.
Because the girl is like, imagine if the girl is like 5'2", or she's 5'1", and then she's got like bigger calves. It makes it like the whole look is just very like stocky.
She's very grounded
Yeah, she's too grounded.
in his perspective. This is just purely his perspective.
It's just purely my perspective.
Yeah, that's just his perspective, people. This is not a general thing for all men.
No, it's totally not.
Okay, as a woman, I don't think Cece feels this yet because she's still really young. So sometimes as like women get older, they but it's just society in general. They're like, this woman is in her late 30s, early 40s. She's single. There must be either A, there's something wrong with them, or B, their expectations are just way too high. Do you feel like they're unapproachable?
So if I'm being really honest, for men, I don't think it's that they're unapproachable. It's just for men, they're just thinking in their head. And I swear to God, it's not to say anything about women. It's just, it just makes sense. They like younger women, right? That's just all it is. I don't think it's like they're not approachable in any way, but it's if they had to put the same amount of effort, for example, why would they go for someone older, right?
Men love fresh meat.
They do. And it's I genuinely think it's from just a biological perspective as well. Like, for example, like if you're a guy, right, you're spending your time focusing on like two things pretty much, like your career and possibly your health, right? So if you're focusing on your career and health, it's like at the end of the day, once you've achieved that career goal, you want to start a family, right? So it's actually more dangerous to find someone who's like older, even have a family. So it ties into everything. Not that it's intentional, but I think it just ends up working that way naturally.
I can attest to that because my partner is like much more older than me. And I think older men do love, or they don't love, but they do somehow. Men will never say no to younger women. Men will never say no to that.
Too young is an issue, obviously, but like
younger.
Too immature. But like younger is always the most ideal scenario, right? Just for everything. Like you want a family, because men are more visual. So it ties into that as well.
Yeah, you've used dating apps, right?
Yep.
How was that?
That's horrible for a guy. Yeah. I mean, it's just, if you just look at like this, like just the stats in general, if you wanted a guy to go on a dating app, he's like below a certain height, he'll get 0 matches. Like just like literally 0. Right. But you could be like,
what about from your experience? Because you're above average height.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, obviously the matches weren't like insane, but of course there were matches. Like a couple of my previous relationships were from dating apps. But like even for me, I was like thinking like if it took me this long, like I feel really like guys that are like shorter, right?
Oh man.
Yeah. Which is true. That's the reality.
Yeah. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joyce, you could literally go on a dating app, you'll get like 200 matches like right away. If you don't even get the opportunity, you can kind of see a lot of how the culture is for dating apps, and there's a lot of resentment, like ghosting, no investment on both sides.
And it's the weirdest because even if you match with them, it's like, hello, are you there?
Right.
Well, they're just not active.
Yeah.
Right.
It might just be there.
Yeah. And dating apps are just all about like how you look, essentially.
Yeah.
Beauty pageants on an app.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You're just rating people the whole time. So not the most ideal way to find a partner.
Yeah.
It definitely, I would say definitely worse guys in terms of like opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But that's purely just looking for opportunity, right? I mean, for women, it's also equally as bad sometimes because it's like you just don't know if the guy's even serious. Because I hate to say it, but if you're swiping right on a guy, then most likely it's because he hit your certain standard, which means he probably hit the exact same standards for like 30, 40, 50 other women. He gets the choice of picking.
Now yeah.
Right, because he's at that position of power now. So then you end up, I hate to say it, but you end up finding like, you end up matching with like the dicks. You
Yeah.
end up matching with the guys that are just not good for you and most likely
Not emotionally available.
Yeah, that's like the best word to say.
choices because they just don't want to commit.
Cece has mentioned this last 2 episodes, I think. You know the term 利用愛情定要面包? Do you know what that means, Geoff?
Like you either want love or you want money.
Not
Yeah.
money, but like, be more practical, as women get older, right? Like, not just women, I feel like men and women, we establish whatever we have already. But when you're growing up in high school, you're both like in school, you've got like, or not just high school, post-secondary, you're still in school, you haven't really started your life yet. So you're kind of in the same situation. But as you grow older, you meet someone and you could be on different paths, or your career is moving towards different directions. As a man, do you feel it matters? Do those take into account in what you would consider? Is there a certain like, oh no, not possible?
Not for guys, I feel. I don't think it matters really that much, especially if the guy himself is relatively capable to care of himself. Like, why would I care? Like, let's say I bought my own place already and it's like, well, why do I need a person to help me buy another place? It's like at the end of the day, like we care more about the personality, how they look, sure. How old they are. Will I be able to start a family with them? I don't think there's been one guy that's been like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, I really need to find someone who can, make as much of me. It's rare. It's rare to see guys say that or have that thought process. They're just happy having a partner that kind of gets along with them. Really.
Geoff, do you think you're a romantic person?
Yeah.
Or what does romantic mean to you? Is it a big gesture to show like, oh, how romantic, or it's like everyday little things?
What would you do? Like, for example,
what have you done?
Well, it's just, I think for me, I try to blend like practicality with also something that's unexpected, right? So if it's something that I notice that she needs, then I'll just go ahead and get it for her. If it's something that I notice about her, I feel like I want to show her that I'm listening to her and I'm noticing things, and therefore I will do things for her based on what I notice. It won't be all the time, but I feel like I always try to do that, make them feel, that we're not just friends, right? Because I think it's important to make that distinction.
Yeah.
A lot of times what I notice is the longer a relationship goes, the more I feel like the less I have to do because I'm complacent. But at that point, I always have to remind myself like, okay, well, I shouldn't be complacent because she's not just a friend.
She's what?
you guys are roommates.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to just be roommates. Like, I don't want to give up. Like, I always want to keep trying, right? Like, when you're going out, make sure you're still dressing up a little. Like, you're not just going on sweats all the time, right? Obviously, it's fine to have those chill times and down moments, but I think it's important to realize that she's your partner and not just a friend. And just always be mindful of it.
Some people say that men who have older sisters are a little bit more mindful because they grew up with having this shadow of this female.
Well, maybe for some guys, maybe they learn because they're close with their sister.
Yeah.
I'm not like super close to my sister. Like, we're obviously on good terms. She's family, but it's not like if anything happens to me, I tell her right away because she's 7 years older. There is that little bit of disconnect in terms of like generation.
Right.
She sees things. So for me, it definitely wasn't because of my sister. It's definitely because I failed. I've been dumped.
Oh
No. I mean, I think it's all part of life. I think it's good.
How did you find out that you were being cheated on?
She told me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, at least she told you, and I'm so sorry I have to go through that.
And live with the guilt, I think. So she told me right away. As soon as she told me, I was like, all right, it's done. And then she ended up like coming to my work and
To patch it up?
yeah, to try and like patch it up. And like I gave in because of that, because I'm a sucker. And then it didn't last long after that, of course.
Well, the trust is broken. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you think traveling is important to see how the other person is like?
No, not really. Because if
Okay.
she comes over like a couple times a week.
Yeah.
So if she's already sleeping over, not really a huge difference between that and going on vacation. At least for me, unless you're going on vacation for like months on end. But if you're going for a 2-week vacation, it's
What? I feel like going on vacation really dictates how you guys are. Like,
We get along
I think
long term.
as a woman, like I see it
Yeah.
as like, how does he keep his clothes clean? How is he in the washroom? You know what I mean? Like I see these little things, or like, what is he like when he's lost?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're both in the wild now, right? Like, I want to see how calm he is or how uncalm he is when we're in like a foreign country.
Yeah. I see these little things. I think even
Right?
like 2 weeks makes a difference.
fair. I guess for me, it never happened. Like for me, it felt great. I saw no issues. I had to interview her.
She's coming on to our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me,
Please let her know.
I never noticed anything. Like it felt pretty much the same. You know what? I actually feel that way more with friends. Going on vacation with friends, the worst.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
guys.
have to find the right type of people. Oh my
It
goodness.
doesn't matter. Guys, girls, it doesn't even matter. Like you go on vacation with them and all of a sudden it's like you hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I
you come
see
back
that.
and you're not anymore.
Yeah. With friends it's really apparent. With partners, I think it depends on friendship.
Am I still lagging?
No, that's okay.
Am I lagging? It's the same? Okay, you guys just calm down, okay?
I'm very calm.
Yeah, I'm also very calm.